Yeah, Nataraj, please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. So, I think good afternoon. So, before we get started, right? Like, if you have any questions, like if you want me to explain few steps, is a better example. Let's stop you over there and ask the question, so I can explain you a better explanation. Okay. So, I'm going to share my screen. Let me know once it is visible. I'm audible, right?
Yes, Nataraj.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, fine.
Oh, yes, you are.
Sure. So, let me give you a brief explanation of what a Tiger model constructor does. So the main idea behind this model constructor, right? Like we want to quickly build a model in Power BI with the metadata that we are going to get from Tableau Accelerator. So what Tableau Accelerator is going to do is like it's going to read the workbook, uh, Tableau workbook, and it's going to give the output metadata in an Excel format. And in the Excel format, we are going to have multiple tabs. For example, say sources, tables, what are the different formulas or calculations that are used within the Tableau workbook into a separate sheet for us to segregate. It's going to segregate and it is going to split the data into the multiple sheets and it's going to organize it for us. So what is the next step, right? So we are going to feed the metadata, that is the output from the Tableau metadata extractor, and we are going to get the data and we are going to create a Power BI model using the data. So how we are going to achieve it, right? So we don't have any straightforward method to achieve it. So what we are going to do is we are going to use TOM libraries, tabular object modeling libraries, along with C hash code to build a Power BI model for us. So if you look how a Power BI is built at the backend, right? It's based on full of TOM libraries and C hash. So we are going to use scripting to create the model for us. That's the overall idea behind this. So this is in words like whatever I explained. So we are going to get the data from Tableau reports, and we are going to use Tableau metadata and the extractor and rationalizer. We are going to have a metadata files, and this metadata files will be of Excel. And again, we are going to add a TSV. TSV is nothing but a tab separated values. So what? Why we are going to use TSV, right? So if you see that Tableau extractor will give outputs in two things. One, the metadata that we require for building the model. Second, the metadata that we want to convert from Tableau expressions to Power BI expressions. So, what the generate team will how the generate team will work here, right? They will take the Tableau Tableau equal expression, and they will employ a Gen A algorithm to build the Power BI equal expressions. So they will take the input and they will take input from Tableau extractor and give the output in the format of TSV. So using this TSV, right, we are going to employ the C hash code and we are going to run it on top of our model and create equivalent Power BI measures in our .bim file or Power BI model. So this is how the flow works from Tableau workbook to metadata extractor to the metadata extracted files, and we are going to take the TSC file and we are going to create a .bat file using C scripts. And we can have the TIMDIL file, TMDL file, BIM file, or PBIP files. So there are three options available for us. If you're going to use only .bim, right, we can directly deploy it into the service as a Power BI a semantic model. Else, if you want to work with the PBIP files, right, there is an option for it. So, any questions in this slide? Okay, so I'm moving
So
forward to the next.
Natarajan, sorry. So this is specific to Tableau, is it? This model constructor.
Yeah, this model constructor is not specific to Tableau. Like, if you can give me the okay, let me show you the input file. Okay, so this is my Excel input, right? This is my input folder. So if you can give me the input in this format from any tool, for example, Looker or a MicroStrategy, if you can give me the report in this format, for example, I need these three tabs: data sources, tables. So these two tabs. If you can give me these two tabs, I can create a model for you in Power BI.
Okay, got it.
So this is not restricted only to Tableau. Okay. So this is this problem solution, right? Like the client wants to move the Tableau to Power BI as quickly as possible. So they asked us like, what is the best possible solution for it? Like in which like we can say 40% of the manual work. So we created this particular algorithm where it will take the Tableau metadata extracted, it will take the files data from Tableau workbook and convert it into Excel sheet, and Excel sheet will be an input to our auto build, and auto build will create a Power BI model for you. It won't create a report, it will create only a model for you. This is the problem statement and the solution. So these are the tools that we require. For example, we need Power BI, latest version, and we need access to Excel, Notepad, and then we are going to run everything in C hash. So also we need to install Tom libraries in your system. Okay? And then the last main part is like Tableau editor. So we are going to call the Tableau editor and run the CH code using Tableau editor. Okay. So at the back end, everything we are going to do using Tableau editor alone. This is the prerequisite tools. So any questions over here?
No, not so.
Fine. I'm going to the next. So okay. So this is the basics of like how we are going to use Timdal, PBIP, and .bim. So I already explained, right? If you are going to use the model as only a semantic model, you can go with BIM. But ideally, Power BI is slowly shifting towards from .bim file to Timdal approach, where we'll be having each file for each data set that you are going to have in your particular model. So Power BI PBIP is the latest concept, like where you will be having Power BI project files, which is very much useful for using CI/CD process. So this is the comprehensive workflow. So what happens, right? Like I'll be sharing you a zip file. So okay, you're able to see my screen, right? So this is the zip file that I'll share with you guys. So what will be there in the zip file, right? So if you open and extract the zip file will be containing all these files. Please exclude the MP4 files. Rest all will be there. So this PBI Excel input, right? This is an input folder where you need to place the input Excel file over here. Similarly, like your output file will be under the PBI output folder. So each folder will be created for the input that you're going to supply. So if you're going to use if you're going to place three input file under Excel input, there will be three folders under PBI output, one for each file. And then measures, there's a folder called measures, right? Here you're going to place the TSV file. This is the output from GenAI. For each model, we are going to provide a TSV. For each input Excel file, they will provide a TSV, and we are going to load it on top of the .bim file. And then, as I said earlier, right, like you can also get the output in Timdal format. So this is how it looks like. For example, this is the folder. This is how it looks like data sources and what are data sources and what is the tables. So this is the Timdal format. These are the tables that we are using under the this model called sales analytics. So each folder will be created for each table, and all the relevant information will be under the folders. This is one way of storing data for Power BI. And then if you're interested in BIM output, right? So you can use this folder. BIM output folder will be having a BIM file for each Excel input that you supply. And let me show you the parameter file that we are going to use. So you see there's a file called parameter.txt, right? So this is the file where you are going to update your folder paths, relative directory paths of all the apps and the folders. For example, Tableau path is nothing but where you have stored your Tableau editor. Similarly, this dbim file, right? So for the code to work, we need to have a default BIM. So if I go here, this default BIM, right? This is one of the dummy BIM file that we want for the code to work. So first one is the tabulated path. Second one is the default BIM, which is nothing but a dummy empty BIM file. And the third one is like CS build, right? This is what our code for auto build. So model auto build CS. So this is the CS script that we created for building the Power BI model by consuming the Excel input that we are given. And then the fourth one is like change password. So what happens, right? Like once you build the model, it will be having a password as password. By default, it will create a password as password. So we are going to use a dummy change password script to give a dummy password to the model. So this is just a add-on script to make the BIM file to work without supplementing the original password to the model. And then the last one is the folder path, which is nothing but where all the files resides for the code to work. So all the input, all the code will be under this particular path. So we are going to configure 5 parameters. First one is tabular path. Second one is the default BIM that we want for our code to work. Third is the model auto build. Fourth one is the change password. Fifth one is the folder path where we saved all these things. So, guys, you have any questions over here? Yes.
So Natarajan, sorry, if you can just show the screen that we just showed, where the credentials were. So I can see that your credentials are there, CW-N.
No, that's my folder path. If I'm going to use in a system, right?
Okay.
Like the zip,
Okay.
the place where you extract your zip, you can pass in that ID this location.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay. Got it. So there is no as such credentials are required, right?
No. You're not going to pass any credentials.
Okay. Got it.
So this is the first parameter that we're going to configure. Fine. The second one is okay. Here you can see Excel file list, right? So what it does is like we need to keep track of how many input files that we are going to process, right? For example, this file will list out all the files that you're going to process for the particular run. If you're going to have in the Excel input, right? If you're going to have 5 different files, Excel files, here you'll be seeing 5 different entries. Since I'm having only one file, right? It will be showing only one entry file. Ideally, to keep track of how many files that you're going to process for the particular run, we are going to use this particular TXT file. This will be automatically populated and truncated during each run. So only parameter that you need to set is these 5 parameters. That's it. Then you don't need to do anything over there. So I explained you parameters. I explained you the folder path and these codes, right? Like you don't need to work on these codes. Like these codes, you don't need to touch. If you touch it, it will break, and again we need to fix it. So you just need to update the parameter text, and then if you have placed the Excel input and the measures at the appropriate position, a model will be created for you. And one more preparation step is like the file name that you place in the Excel input should be similar to the measures name. For example, if the name is abc.tsv, the same file name should be used in Excel input abc.xlc. So the name should be same across Excel input as well as TSC folder. Fine, guys.
So Nataraj, where will you specify like which output format you want, like PBIP or
No. Like by default, you will be having all the performance like BIM
all three?
output, PBIP, and Timdal.
Okay.
Okay. So once you run a particular process, right? Like for some reason, if the process got failed, there will be a log called process log where you can see like what are things that got executed and where it failed. So most of the scenarios, it will capture the failure over here. If not, we can look into the black screen, that the screen where you're going to run the code. Okay. Uh, so any questions over here? The setup. I explained you all the scripts, all the folders, parameters, the TSV.
So one question is, Natraj. So
Mhm,
in Excel input and measures, so the
mhm,
Excel that you just showed it to us, so
mhm.
that is the Excel that we are going to get from Tableau metadata extractor, is it?
Yes, you will be having two tabs. Like you need only two tabs. One is data sources and tables. Okay.
Okay.
From
And
the
we need not to do any changes in that, right?
no
Like in the
changes are required.
metadata.
Like manually, but you can check for sometimes like the Tableau, metadata etc. might be having some bugs, but you can check.
Okay.
I recommend you to check. You initially go through the two things, and then like once the GenAI provides the relevant TSC file, right, just place it over here. I also suggest like you go through the TSC file too, because GenAI makes some mistakes. For example, last time it happened, it included
Okay.
multiple blank rows, and it was not having any spaces between the two words. For example, if it is sales analytics, right, it combined the
Mm-hmm.
word into sales analytics, a single word. It caused the measure to break in the front end.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
you can
So
manually
that's
check it.
also, yeah, yeah. Okay. So one more thing. So for example, if it get fails, so
Mhm.
how to troubleshoot like where the problem exactly is. So I just want to
Okay.
understand the possibility.
Okay, so for example, right, if the process fails in the middle, right, it will
Yeah.
like if I like once I demo it, right, like I can show you like what are the steps it
Mhm.
runs. Like you can see it in the black screen. Like once the execution window appears, it pops up, right, it will show like you're processing the input file. Next, it will show like you're creating the measures for it. And if there is any relevant error in the measures, right, it will show the error like you are having error in the measures folder. Just go and check. It will be giving you, it will be guiding you like where the error happened, but it won't show you like what error really happened over there. We don't have that kind of logic behind this particular approach. For example, if you by
Oh,
mistake, like if you have some named as if you have created some measures in the wrong approach, right, it won't show you like exactly at which measure the error happened. It will show you like the error is in the measures folder. Just go and check.
okay. Got it.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks.
Fine. Okay. So I will walk you through the input Excel that we receive, right? So like we are most concerned about two tabs, that is data sources and tables. So data sources, right? Like our code will support variety of data sources. For example, Excel, CSV, Azure SQL, SQL Server, Teradata, um, Oracle, and then Databricks. These are the list of data sources that our code will support. So what you need to do is like here we need to give the server name, and initial catalog is nothing but the uh, the database name. And here you need to mention like what is the kind of provider. It's a SQL or Oracle. You need to mention it here, and then you need to provide the user ID for the connection. You don't need to mention the password or path. It's fine. If you're going to use Excel sheet or a CSV, right, then you need to share the path of the file where it is saved. Got it? Any questions over here?
So Nataraj, so do we have that list of supported data sources? Like,
I will share you this. I'll share you this particular deck, like where you can have all the details, how
okay,
to set it up and how are the different things. So I will share you a couple of documents. One, this one, and the second document is like how to set up the auto model constructor. So this document I will clearly explain like what are things that you need to do for setting up the particular auto model constructor in your system. Okay. So two documents I will share it with you along with the video explanation of it. So I have a video also ready. So if you have any doubts, you can go to the video and come back to me if you have any questions.
okay,
So this is the first one. So data sources, we completed it. So server name, database name, your provider, and your user ID. And the second part is tables. So within a model, right, you will be having multiple tables. So here you can give what is the table name, and data source nothing but like your server name with a space along with the database name. the same information that you provided over here, right? It will be coming here. So this will be mostly taken care by the Tableau metadata extractor. If there is any issues, you need to manually correct it. So you can like table type schema, like table type, right? Like it is not a mandatory one. You need to give a dummy value. It should be either a fact or a dump. That's it. And the schema is like where you have the area save the table. Like for a the database will be having multiple schemas, and you should mention the schema over here. And here comes the provider. Like it will also be mostly filled by Tableau metadata extractor. If some values are missing, you should fill it up. So, like, what is the kind of provider? Right now, I'm showing only the data source from SQL. It is all the tables are from SQL, right? Ideally, you can have multiple hybrid sources. For example, few tables from SQL and one table from Excel. This also, like this auto model, also supports hybrid model. But you need to provide the relative information, like what is the path of the Excel, what is the other, or what is the path of the CSV, other steps. Okay, and here we are going to share the list of columns that we want to obtain from the table. Like relatively, we don't want all the columns from a fact table, right? We just want to cite only few columns that are required to build the model. So here it will be populated by the Tableau metadata extractor. So and then like if you're
Raj,
going to use it,
sorry
yeah.
to disturb. So, how are we handling this logic? Suppose if we want on the only list of particular columns, are we loading the all the columns from table and removing the unwanted columns, or is it?
No, this will be handled. This will be handled by the Tableau metadata extractor. Like
No, no, no.
once they
So what I'm asking is, suppose if there are 20 columns in the source table and we need only 10,
uh
how are we handling this? Is it like we are loading all 20 to Power Query editor and
no, it won't be loaded
removing?
into the model. It won't be loaded into the model. Like by default, it will be having this column. You don't
Which
load into
means
the model and then
are we generating any native query, SQL query?
yes, we will be generating native queries. Just a minute, let me show you. Consider this is the output, right? Like if I go into the Power BI report,
So for each query, each table, there will be a native query you will be writing, is it?
yes.
Uh,
No, like native query in the sense like you are referring to custom SQL.
yes.
No, I won't be writing a custom SQL. What happens, right? Like just a minute, I just forgot.
So why I'm asking is, suppose if it is a native, means so if we are giving direct SQL query, sometimes the query folding will not happen, right, in Power
No,
BI.
that's all. We make sure like query folding happens. Like just a minute. Let me check because we tried two versions. So okay, this is just like we are loading and we are excluding the table, excluding the irrelevant columns.
Okay.
So if you exclude like this, like query folding will be happening, right?
Okay, fine.
Uh, Nataraj, I have a doubt here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say in Tableau, right? When there's a custom SQL created, okay. So in the in the Tableau, when you see as a data source, it will give a column name and just go with that. But back that with the custom SQL, they would have done some string function or some mathematical function. Let's say adding two columns or excluding some tailing space or something. So how that will be
Okay.
captured in this model?
Okay, got it. So I got your point. So to answer that question, right? Like we need to know like how Venki have handled it. I think custom SQL, I think they are not considering. If the data source is using custom SQL, I think it is not captured as a part of metadata extractor. Maybe you can check with Venki or other guy like who is helping Venki. So maybe you can put this question in the forum so that they can answer it.
Okay, okay. Because as I can see, the points which you have mentioned are the steps is simply like right away point to the table or the object from the data source,
Mm-hmm.
or from the server or from the Excel.
Mm-hmm.
But there are cases where in Tableau, especially in Tableau, we do that some places where we write a custom SQL to just to modify one or two columns.
Yeah, understand that. So like that Venki needs to answer it because I'm not sure like how they are handling it because they might have handled it in the Python layer, but I'm not 100% sure like how they handle it.
Because the object name itself will be like different. Because
Hmm?
when we write a custom SQL, we have
Mhm.
like two, three tables involved in creating custom SQL, like
Yeah,
join or
understood your point.
unit. That's it.
So I think maybe like if you'll be getting a better clarity if you connect with Venki.
Okay, okay.
Sure. So so we explained on these two stuffs, right? Like data session tables. So we have any question for me like till now what we discussed apart from this? I'll take the silence as a yes. So can I proceed further?
Yes,
Yes, yes,
Nataraj.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
fine.
go ahead, go ahead.
So I will close this window. Okay, fine. So I explained you all the stuffs, right? But I haven't really said like how you need to execute the code. Correct? Because in which order we need to execute or like how whether we need to execute script one by one or can we run all the scripts in parallel, but I haven't really said anything about it. So how you can run, right? Like there is a batch script, auto model constructor.bat. So what I did is like I made sure like all the activity, like all the CS scripts, we have 2 to 3 CS scripts, and all the output that we need to uh, move from the respective files to the folder. So all this syncing activity, right? I handled it inside a batch script. So this is the batch script. So once you place all your parameters and everything fine, this batch executing this batch script alone will give you the respective output. So what I will do is I will make sure like I clear this one. Then, yeah. Right now I cleared my BIM output, PB output, TIMDIL. So there is no output in my respective output folders. I have only one input file, sales analytics.xlxx, and then my measures. Like inside my measures, right? I have created only one dummy measure. So let me show it. So I renamed as I just want it under my table called customer transaction. And this is the name of the measure that you're going to create. And if you have any description to provide it for the particular measure, you can write it over there. Else, you can simply write your expression. This is how your TSC file will be looking like. This is tab separated values. Okay. So I have all my respective inputs ready. So one more thing, what I'm going to check is I'm going to check whether my parameters are correct. So everything is going to be under auto MC. I have my default file. I have my model CS. I have my change password, and this is my folder. And this is my tabular editor part. So okay, this is my Excel file list, right? So I'm just going to delete it and then save it. And I'm going to run this bat file. So this is what happens. So you will be seeing a black screen. It will be trying to find the tabular editor. So right now you can see this file called sales analytics. And this is my current file name. This is listing out all the files under this particular folder, MS Auto MC Excel input. And this is my file name. This is my updating the file list, and this is the file name that I used for the particular files edition, right? Like you'll be having a Excel file list under which you'll be having a file name, right? So it is showing that particular file name, and this is what like I'm going to run the mod autobuild.cs, and it is going to process this particular Excel sheet, and this is having a type of SQL, and we are having table name as customer transaction first one, and this is my server name, this is my database name. So this is my query that I'm going to create so that I can use it in the Power BI model. So for all the tables, right, you'll be having a query like this. This is a Power Query that we are going to use it in our backend, and then uh, So right now everything is done. Like my auto build CS completed. Then I'm going to run the measure creation. This particular CS will take care of including the measure into the respective model. So I'm going to run this measure.measure.cs, and it's going to take out the sales analytics TSV from the measures folder. And this is my table name, and the table name and the measure name or the expression. So then this modification is also done. Then it is going to go to the change password. So change password is a dummy script, as I said earlier. It will be automatically completed. Right now, it is going to save the model successfully, and then it is going to save the model as Timdal and the BIM also. And once it is done, it will be showing you a output that all tasks complete successfully. See the login process log txt. Once you have the screen, right, like your model got processed, your measures got created, and the respective outputs are feed into the respective folders. So any question over here, guys? Team?
No, no.
So you
So
are
Nataraj, other than Tabular editor, do we need to install anything else before running the script?
no, I think tablet will be having all the Tom libraries, and you should have a Excel sheet, and that's it. Rest of the things are will be already available, right? Like Notepad, batch script, so everything will be fine. So only thing is like your tablet editor. Okay.
Okay.
So you have any questions over there in the screen? I will minimize this particular window. So if you have any questions, like again, I can explain it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh my screen. So this is my Power BI output. Okay. So you see here, it got generated right now, 133. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this particular PBIP file. This PBIP file should be having all my tables, correct? So I'm just going to open it. If you open it, it will be throwing an error at the end, showing that there are pending changes in your query that is incomplete or no data. So what you need to do is you need to go into transform data, and then click apply so that everything will get loaded. So what you initially add is only the metadata, like the structure of the data, that's it. You don't have any relative data into the model. So once you click on close and up, you click on apply, all the data will be loaded from the respective server. See, the data is getting loaded. So initially you have only skeleton. Right now you are going to fill in the data under this structure that we created. So you can see the rows are getting loaded. So let it load for a few minutes. So any questions you have, guys? Like, do you need to explain any part a bit more, or you're fine? One more interesting part is like Power BI will automatically detect the relationship between two tables. But if you guys have any issues, right, like if you want to have a different columns as a key, then you can simply go in and change the relationship manually. So most of the time, like Power BI will automatically detect the relationship. If you have any issues, then you can do it by yourself. So the data got loaded into the tables. So that's it. Any questions?
No, not right. That's good.
So what I will do is I will share a recording of a demo that I did earlier along with the documentation that I had for in a PPT as well as like how to set it up. So if you guys have any questions, right, like you can go through that, and then you can ping me at any time, like if you have any issues in setting up or running the code,
And
anything.
Nataraj, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I'm right. I'm able to hear you.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, in this project, we will be using CSV Excel files as data sources. So currently, the
Mhm.
Tableau workbook is using on-premise CSV or Excel files, which the client has proposed that it will be changed to SharePoint based. So they will host these files in SharePoint, and they will expect our Power BI report to connect to SharePoint.
Okay.
In this case, suppose say we run this auto model, right?
Mhm.
Is it possible that we change this Tableau extractor, the outcome, the metadata file? We'll just change to include SharePoint based connectors, and then shall we run the auto model, or shall we retain assets? So my question is basically, uh, the Tableau extractors which you are going to run will anyway be giving us this Excel output, which will point out to an on-premise CSV and Excel file. Okay.
Mhm.
Eventually, this will be SharePoint based only. Uh, I'm just trying to get your suggestion whether it will be worthwhile to change this Excel file, the connectors in this Excel file, or it will be better to change it in the final Power BI PBAP report with the PBAT final semantic model that will get generated.
So I don't have an answer right now. Or maybe we need to check like how the mortar build works with
Hmm.
because we used a path for a CSV file which is under the system, right? So we haven't used on-premise system path. So we need to check that first. And the second part is like on the SharePoint, right? We haven't explored that much on SharePoint. So if you can give us some time, right, we can come up with suggestion like which one will be better and which will be easy as we move forward.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Because we don't want to the end outcome to get corrupted as a result. Because eventually, all your Power Query transformations and all will be relying on a particular source definition,
Hmm.
correct? Whether it is
Yes,
on
yes,
premise.
yes,
So if we change that, then we need to change the Power Query logic also. So
yes,
just want to just understand how to use this accelerator in the way how to manage the changes also.
yes. Sure.
Else we can edit the final report, change the data source, and then redo the transforms again.
Sure, got it.
And
So,
the second is yeah.
yes, yes, go ahead.
No, no. Second is that we do have SAP HANA connector. So Azure, what the client mentioned is that we have SAP HANA, Azure SQL, and then CSV Excel files, which are file based, on-premise based, which will be ported to SharePoint while we do this project. That's what the client mentioned. So, is there any way to include SAP HANA as one of the data sources
So,
supported with this?
so last week, Hari and I connected on this. So, like, we are waiting. Like, he asked us to check on SAP HANA, but we need some like system to work on with, right? Like we need to have some have a demo system so that we can connect to the HANA and check like how it works, so that we can build a similar logic using programmatic way. So maybe like once we have the test system ready, right? So we can check on it. So 2 points that Hari spoke is like CSC and Excel files, and then SAP HANA. So we'll work on and let you know however on this.
Okay. And for environment perspective, right? What we plan is that we plan to get Azure virtual machines. Okay.
Mhm.
Windows Azure virtual machines with the .NET library installed. So is this better to like? Do we need a dedicated server environment for AutoWater, or shall we have it individual developer desktops?
So individual desktop will be fine, right? Like inside the remote, like I hope like Mars will be using the remote machine, right? Inside the remote machine, if they have installed Tabler, the Tabler editor
Okay.
along with all the setups, right? Like I think it will work fine. We don't need to set up a individual remote machine, uh, like as a dedicated remote machine for this particular auto build to work, because I don't see a point in that.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Thanks, Naraj. That's questions I have.
Fine. So, so I can I share that documents in that space, Varun, or should I put it somewhere else?
Yeah, you can share those documents in space. And then maybe one of the developers can try out this. I'll let you know. So they can try this from their own Tiger environment to see the. They can just practice running this accelerator, create a sample Power BI project file also. They can experiment in the meanwhile until we get actual environments.
Sure. So
Okay.
one more info is like I won't be available from Wednesday till next Tuesday. So if you want to try out something like you can try it out today and tomorrow and get that. Fine.
Are there anyone else whom we can reach out to in case we have any questions?
I and Thiru, like I Tirumala Parisa, right? Like
Yeah.
I and
Okay.
Thiru and I worked on it. Like unfortunately, we both are going on a trip, so
Okay.
both of
Okay.
us will be available.
Sure. Okay, now. Thanks. Thank you.
Fine.
So, Nataraj, last question. So, is there any do we need any specific version of Tableau Editor or anything is fine?
I'm using Tableau Editor 2.20. Like Tableau Editor 2 is a freeware, whereas Tableau Editor 3 is a paid one. Like you can use Tableau Editor 2 specification like 20.2.2. It will work.
20.2.2. Okay. Maybe Sweta and Vipin, if you don't have Tableau Editor in your system, maybe you can install that version and let's try.
Sure, Guna.
Now, how about the .NET runtime? What version is this? .NET framework version.
I need to check and can I check and get back to you on this?
Yeah, yeah. You can also include it as part of the requisite in your deck as well.
Fine.
Sure. I think you can share all the documents, Nataraj, on this group, and
Sure.
then maybe today and tomorrow we will get back to you in case of any questions.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure. Thanks. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.